Hello, my name is Fiona from Fee's Papercraft. Today I'm going to show you how we do a set of cards. Well, I'm going to show you one card at a time. So this month we're using the Words of Cheer bundle, which is this one. And they also cut out these large words as well. So you've got happy and cheers with all the layering. So that's what we're going to be using. So I'm going to get started. I haven't got anything prepped, so this could take a while. Well, I have got things prepped, but I've been a little bit slow this morning at getting myself going. I don't know if you have some of those days, but I am, definitely. Right, so what we're going to do, now this is an optional, well, stamping the image out isn't an optional, obviously you do need to stamp the image out. So I'm using, if I can find it, where have I put it? Oh, there it is. My Memento Black Tuxedo Black ink. This is a water-based ink. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to heat emboss it. Now, you don't have to heat emboss it, but it is a Christmas card. And I think heat embossing gives it a little extra zhuzh. And on this, I've actually got, this is clear embossing powder, and all I've done is mixed a little bit of glitter on it. Now, Stampin' Up! Don't sell glitter anymore, or loose glitter like that. They have other products. Just use whatever glitter you have, something that's not too chunky, obviously. It's just a scrap piece of card. Now, you do have to work fairly quickly, because this isn't an embossing ink, this is ordinary ink. And you can do this with any ink, but like I said, you do have to move quickly because it will dry a lot quicker than Versamark. So it might not emboss all of it, that's fine. Let's try and get most of it on there. I didn't sponge it, and you can see it's not done all of it, but that's fine. We're going to go for majority rules. That works for me. And I'm just going to heat that up. Let's give it a little while, get some of the excess off. Like, if you're going to heat emboss properly, you would use an embossing buddy to make sure you've got no static. Now, I've just heat embossed that off camera because it's just too noisy and makes it easier. Now, I'm going to cut this down so I can put this through the die cutting machine. But hopefully you can see the sparkle there. And that's what happens when you add a little bit of glitter into it. Hopefully that's caught the light there. And that looks lovely on Christmas cards. So you just need to mix some fine glitter in with your clear embossing powder. Not too much, you don't need too much at all, just a sprinkle. And that will do that. So that will make it your embossing powder sparkly. Now, like I was saying, I wasn't using a specific embossing ink pad. I just used my ordinary black ink pad. And you can use any water bed or any ink pad, to be honest. You can use any ink pad to heat emboss with, but you have to move quickly. The thing about Versamark is that it's sticky and it stays sticky for a long time. The water-based ones or the alcohol-based ones will dry off fairly quickly. So as long as you can move quickly, get the powder on, get it covered, that's the important bit, and then heat it, you're fine. It may not stick as well, it may not cover it all, it may leave gaps. That's up to you, whether I don't particularly mind that doesn't bother me. I know some people it will bother, so that's up to you. And it also means that if you're careful and do it in the right way, you can heat emboss things in different colour. So if you use a clear embossing powder, you can therefore heat in any colour whatsoever. I'm just cutting that out of that card so it'll fit into my mini die cutting machine. Cut and emboss. I've forgot the name now. I told you I'm not really with it at all today, so you'll have to just bear with. And I might, let me get this lined up. Am I going to risk it without sticking it? No, I'm not going to risk it without sticking it, honestly. Get that lined up and add a bit of tape. Always use tape. Sometimes I risk it, and sometimes it doesn't come out very well and you have to redo everything. We don't want to do that. There we go. Right. So while I've got my machine out, so that's that. I'll do that, colour that in. I'll show you how I colour that in a minute. But while I've got my machine out, I might as well die cut my other bits, which I haven't prepped, so you'll have to bear with me for a minute. Well, you won't have to bear with me. I'll just cut this bit out of the video. It's called editing. Right. So I'm going to die cut my letters, and I'm going to use self-adhesive sheets, or the adhesive sheets in the back, just to make it easier to stick down. So with this one, I'm just going to cut out the happy twice, once in, what colour is this? Oh, my brain is gone today. In this colour, and once in black. I decided I would use it this way and offset it. Then actually do the mat that comes with it. So that's that one. So that colour was Sahara Sand. See, I do know what I'm talking about sometimes. Can't promise it's all the time, but sometimes. It doesn't really matter if it's not covered completely with adhesive sheets in the bag, as long as you've got the majority of it. And this is the base layer anyway, this is going to go at the back, so I can always add glue to it. It just makes it a lot easier because they are small and fiddly to add adhesive sheets. Right, to colour these flowers in, I'm just going to do it really roughly. It's just a background image. I'm not too worried about it being perfect. I know some people like colouring and they want to make it perfect, but I'm going to use daubers. So I'm going to use real red on the flowers. And I'm just going to go around in circles. So I want the more intense colour in the centre, and just letting it fade out. It makes a funny sound, excuse me. Okay. And this is just a really nice quick way. So if you're doing, 50 cards, you may not want to spend a lot of time colouring in with, with alcohol markers or blends, or even ordinary markers to get it right. And it also helps with some of these sticky ones. You're just giving it kind of an air of colour. And you can increase the darkness in certain areas and make it lighter. And it blends in with the red. So I've used real red, garden green, and I'm using shaded spruce. Well, that was a bit intense, wasn't it? And that just fills in the colour. And you've got the sparkle from the embossing, so it makes it look a little bit nicer. Right. Let me get my card blank. Excuse me if I jog the camera. It's one thing I'm very good at. So what we're going to do is stamp Christmas. I'm going to stamp Christmas in real red. And we're just going to do it at the bottom corner. Now this is a nice, clean and simple card, so that means we've got to get it perfect, which that near as is. I'm not great at getting things perfect. I think you know that about me now. So then we're going to just slap that on. This designer series paper was in the Celebration offering that was out in August and September. So this isn't available now, unfortunately, unless you've got a pack. But it's a really nice pack of card. Hopefully it might go on clearance or something like that. Right, and then we're going to put that on. Oh, you see, I did that wrong. Well, I haven't done it wrong. So this will go on flat. But I should have used the foam sheets to die cut out my happy. I see, I knew I'd get it wrong somehow. But anyway, let's put this one on. Right, excuse me while I put it. If that's the only thing about this is I'm peeling it off. And take a little, you've got some tweezers. And just be careful you don't, put it too much out of shape. And what we're going to do, oh, it's a little bit haphazard doing this. We're just going to slot that on and do it one letter at a time. Take your time with it. There's no rush. There we go. And that gives it that nice shadow. Better than I did it in the first time. So what we'll do is see if we can slot on some itty bitty foam pads and raise this up. Just check they're not being seen the other side. Gosh, I need to clean my scissors off. I need to find something decent to clean my scissors off. Okay, that will do. You don't need much to adhere stuff to cards, to be honest. Position that where you want it, and there we go. One day I'm going to remember to put a greeting in the middle of my cards, but hey, I end up doing it just before I send them off. Right, there we go. Happy Christmas. That was the first one, and that was the second one.